when it comes to Nuke, but what we saw on Ancient was a complete and total outclassing in the favor of EG. Every single individual on EG seemed to be winning their fights against every single individual on the Party Astronauts side. So unless Party Astronauts could wake up, they're going to be sunk here on Nuke as we hop into map number 2.
Yes, they will. Also want to highlight again, Walco's not a player you look to find tremendous impact and be a star, and yet in the last map he very much was. He is the key factor as to what gave them that commanding lead at the end of the first half. And so if he can do that again on Nuke, it might just be flat out curtains. We'll have to see. PA on the attack. It makes sense. It's their map pick. It's a straight play into A. Through the hut they go, and there's some dualies to meet them. 4 to be exact between 2 players. And they say hello and goodbye, shutting the door right in Party Astronauts' faces. The last alive is Viz, and he's also met by a pair of pistols. A succinct 1-0 shutout from EG in the pistol.
Yeah, flawless victory from EG. They have the door blown open, but they slam the blast doors right on Party Astronauts. That is about as comprehensive of a pistol round victory as you can get. The Evil Geniuses pick up right where they left off on map number 1. Walco, 2 big kills. HexT as well with 3. He heated up towards the tail end of that first map too. But yeah, Nate, we mentioned it in the pregame of the first series. Walco has these maps where he just pops off and is an absolute unstoppable menace. That was Ancient, but if he can carry that forward too into map number 2, then Evil Geniuses become that much scarier of a roster. Viz already tagged down to 43. No real contact made by PA as they ambulate around the map. Bomb is outside. Everybody else towards ramp. Are they going to try a Glock ramp secret split with the bomb going solo out our yard?
D5D chess, and you know, I'm for it. It's Glocks. You're not going into A fast. If you're going with some Gucci, it's Gucci's call. Walco holding ramp is run over by the numbers. Junior needs to be careful. He gets dinked down to 58. He only had a USB. George harvesting a bit of cash onto 60. That's the bomb. It did go outside. It did go alone. It does find an early grave. Chop walking in from Trophy. 1 tapped by Hex. The last alive is PwnAlone on 9 HP. At this point, just begging to die. Hoping to maybe take someone with him to the grave. No, it's Hex to finish him off. 4 weapons being brought into the following of Hamas, an M4, an AUG, and an MP9. Most of those formidable weapons in their own right. Junior. He only had a USP in that round so that he could bring an op in the following. And he does exactly that as we start round number 3. PA, what is their investment? AKs and 1 Krieg for PwnAlone. I love to see it. A Krieg and an AUG on either side of the equation in round number 3.
I love the Krieg. I love the AUG. I think the AUG a little more usable still than the Krieg, just given the unruly spray of the SG-553. But I still love it all the same. And on a map like Nuke, the Krieg very versatile with the outer yard, long-range peaks, and also up close and personal. Still do some serious damage. There he is up top silo. Can't have it up. Gets the next best thing. Junior will not split the goalposts. He'll take down 60 first. Toss a nade over. And Viz is waiting for a J-Hall swing. He will go now as his teammates molly down the ramp and work out towards Hell. That early man advantage helps out EG significantly. They can settle down a little bit more. Play with a little more confidence. But a wrap held to A for PA. Definitely something that has to be expected if you are EG at this stage of the round.
I like their setup, EG. Walco in the back of garage. Timing everything, and timing works in his favor. Viz will trade, but now the jig is up. They know it's a wrap out through Hell. Ben Leet spotted, confirms that by autimatic up in Mustang. And PwnAlone fails the drop top mini. He falls all the way down.
He's got to be heard.
Yeah, definitely heard by that player down below, if I'm not mistaken. 20 seconds left. It looks like PwnAlone's trying to throw a fake in towards A, hoping to do something, but at this point it feels like PA are grasping at straws. 15 seconds left. The bomb is slinking down a ramp. Junior is here. He's posted. Is he ready? No is the answer. Viz finds the kill. And now things can get interesting. 9 seconds left. Plant can go down, but will the MP9 drop him? George swings. George drops him. Bomb plant failed. Round done. Viz will try to save the AK. Won't even go for the op. He'll get another kill to do some damage. He will survive. But EG steal away a third, and now Viz's economy is in the dumpster.
Yeah, absolutely destroyed. But he does have the AK at the very least. It might force a force out of his squad, though, Nate. And that's the interesting situation which PA find themselves in. They'll go for a half a round, a little bit heavy of an investment on 60. The op back for Junior, but Walco's there on ramp. This time as they run through fire, Walco's going to back away. It's a good read to put the rifle out towards ramp instead of the op. Much more multi-kill potential here with a FAMAS. Of course, it's not the most ideal weapon in that situation. How do they not clear that? 60 just runs out wide, and Viz with the AK will pick up George. Automatic only good for one. Viz has two now, and he's not taking any damage. Junior and Hex, the last two, is standing, and I think they're going to go for a retake, possibly? But their money is completely destroyed, and yeah, save your guns here, EG. There is nothing you can do in this round anymore. Rush B, Suka, it worked out well.
Did.
Now, Nate, I do want to give a score update for the other match going on right now, the Wild Card versus M80 match. That first map was also a complete and total obliteration. 13-3 in the favor of M80.
Even more one-sided than the first of this one.
Yep.
Interesting. G, you can definitely get a buy up. Rifle dropped over by autimatic. MP9 for Walco. George, what does he go for? Another MP9 as well. So I see those SMGs towards ramp or towards top hut. Close range angle. EA have AKs, an M4, and an op, and Chop looks to continue the pace, pressuring in towards Squeaky Door. The op doesn't connect. Chop 1 for 1. Chop doubles down though. As the A site cracked open, Chop through the smoke finds yet another. Ben Leet drops Walco, pressuring ramp, and this is a collapse of the EG defense. The last alive is Junior. He smoked off many, and now he'll try to send it off for the falling. He's spotted. Shot Marshmallow. Ben Leet, a belabored spray, but a shot that does connect. Second in a row on the board for PA, and EG's economy now thoroughly broken. Sent back into a save.
Maybe an upgraded P250 or two, piece of utility for automatic, but there's not going to be much invested in this round by the Evil Geniuses Party Astronauts. Picking up the pace here, Nate. It's two fast rounds where they run through fire, they just push out onto a site or an area of the map, as the case may be, in the ramp take. But it works out incredibly well for them, just trying to overwhelm this more stationary defense of Evil Geniuses. Deagle there for automatic. It's the only buy. Drops off that boost. I think he was expecting Hex to walk over a little more, but they've made noise. They're going to reattempt it still, but complete abandonment of the ramp side of things for EG. George has made his way back a little bit late. He's going to get all the sound cues going on, but is there any real way to affect this round for him? Not really. They're going to rotate down to B, though. Pistols will try and do what they can, but it's not going to be much that they can manage. Chop already cutting down the first. And now the bomb might just take it back up to A.
You know, the pistols are going to be reactionary and quick on rotation. Makes sense from PA. $60 a second on George. 60's done the damage, just needs to stay alive. Hold his ground, but automatic. That Deagle finds the timing, slips the gap, finds an AK that he can save for the following. As we talked about a lot, this map has a notoriously large bomb radius. You basically have to be in T-spawn or CT spawn if you want to take no damage. And even towards secret, depending on the plant, you could take upwards of half. So where is automatic lurking with that rifle? That's the question. He's going towards secret. Should survive there. Should get very far back there. Exits for HexT and Walco are going to be attempted. Chop cleared the first angle. The second one is cleared by Ben Leet. And Viz should survive. I think he'll be just far enough away. No, he won't. And there's the bomb radius rearing its ugly head. Nevertheless, though, 3 in a row from PA to answer the 3 in a row from EG.
Three in a row, but much like map number 1, Evil Geniuses started it out with 3. Party Astronauts got 3 on the bounce. And it ended up 8-4 in the favor of the Evil Geniuses. So, if you're Party Astronauts, you're just seeing business as usual as far as the last one was concerned. PwnAlone has his graphite with the Furious stickers on that craft. Junior does not have anything but a dog. There is no big green to counter that of PwnAlone. The utility a little bit lacking for the Evil Geniuses as well. Only 1 diffuse kit in the hands, or I guess on the belt of autimatic, technically. A very slow round from PA, contrary to their fast successes a couple of rounds ago.
Finally a secret presence of autimatic. Not really respected, but he whiffs the spray. 60 taking point, finds 1 Junior. Good trade on the PwnAlone, though. He wins the Opera's duel without using an op. 60 will take that up. OHP makes sense. Junior ramp now. Caught looking. Ben Leet swings. He does not miss. Advantage regained. This player down below, will he be expected? Ben Leet 20 to clear it. Walco's holding above, and Walco is stuck between 2. HexT and George. M4 and from us. So far removed from the situation. This is going to be a save at this point, guaranteed. Party Astronauts will take the lead at the halfway point of their map pick. Halfway point of the first half of their first map pick, excuse me.
Bomb will tick away. 60 has to book it out of there to stay alive with 5 HP. Try and grab. Oh, he'll toss it over to Chop the op. They want to make sure that survives at the very least. I don't think 60's going to make it out of here. He's as dead as a doornail momentarily. He's not even going to be allowed behind the box. They sacrifice him. EG might be timeout territory once their next buy can come through, Nate, because they've just been shut down by Party Astronauts when they go aggressive. Although last round, autimatic needed at least 1 out of that secret play. Doesn't even get the 1. That's kind of where things all went to the bad side of things for the Evil Geniuses. They could have had some success there, at least a 4v4, but 5v4 into another man advantage. Not going to work out too well for you.
Three rifles saved. Junior on a P250's mollied out. That leads racing them down. Junior's stuck between so many players out here. Good for 1. Swing comes in though. Ben Leet's ready. Clears it out. I'm sure he heard the flame ticks as well. Bandage secured, but those 3 rifles and autimatic, HexT, and George are still lurking about on the defensive side.
Very slow midpoint of the round. Party Astronauts looking for peaks from the Evil Geniuses, which I don't think are going to come. EG very disciplined when it comes to these sort of mid-round situations. Hex, this is about as aggressive as EG will get on a CT side. He's heard some noise. Ben creeps out of heaven on the site. The bomb will not be planted. Hex will deny it, but does he expect the hut wrap? No, he doesn't. He's backstabbed and somehow does a little bit of damage on the Viz. That was a much longer fight than it needed to be. PwnAlone going to plant back silos now. Autimatic and George have rifles to try to make their way on in. George will at the very least win that first against 60, but it takes so much damage out of it, it's not even worth his retake attempt. Autimatic and Walco, will they try to go for it after that? I don't think so. Walco's got a Zeus out. He's going to look for a kill, and he'll get a backstab on the Viz. There we go. Okay, now there's a chance here for EG, and they've waved the white flag.
They want to get out. They don't have time. They don't have a kit. They want to force these two to go down with the bomb, though, and that might just happen. PwnAlone, I don't think there's anywhere he can get away to. He's trying to drop the op to his teammate up in heaven. Do they get it? Oh, he falls down! That is unfortunate. They know it's coming. It's too late. All 5 go down, but they have the funds to recoup their losses. Ben Leet can buy an op. He can also drop a rifle to 60. How poetic. Throws the op up above out of desperation, and it falls into the doldrums. Attack pause called by EG, a very, very smart one at this stage. This is typically a CT-sided map, and they are on the back foot by 2 rounds. Rifles in hand as well, an opportunity to change the pace, to change their game plan and their approach. The question is, do they have the strat book? Do they have the depth required to take it to PA, or will this timeout yield no fruit?
Well, for EG, they're going to need to get some rounds on the board here on the CT side of Nuke. Historically, relatively CT-sided map. And Party Astronauts with a 60.9% win rate on the CT side, Nate. Their T side, 44.2. They're overperforming when it comes to the offense, but it could also be said they found a weak point to the EG defense, and they're continuing to exploit that. EG's 3 rounds only came off the back of the pistol in the ensuing 2. There needs to be a gun round on the board for Evil Geniuses if they want to make a case for this map. If they don't, we're going to go to map 3, and it's going to be 2 very lopsided score lines that bring us into a third, which is Inferno again. Party Astronauts, though, looking alive this time. Can't say the same for most of the Evil Geniuses.
No, you can't. George up close finds one from Tetris. Good start. Still much more required. All 4 remaining attackers were in lobby. They're now rotating back around. Still plenty of time. It's under a minute. And they have some smokes for the crossing if they want to go for it, but that'll be the last pair of smokes they have on the belts. I'm going to try to take duels instead. We've seen Walco play this exact position before. It yielded one and was expected and respected by Party Astronauts on this walk outside yard.
Well, that's a freebie for Walco.
Not expecting the peek. He finds one, and he might even find a second as he continues to probe forward.
Oh, he didn't spot the heel yet. But this is such a good flank from Walco. Got all the info, all the sound. Trades out 6. He tries to spray for the next Junior through the smoke. And Ben Leet running into double. Shut down by his counterpart on the opposition. But a huge round off the back of the timeout for Evil Geniuses. But what does it take for them to win the round, Nate? But a 4K for Walco.
The hero of the map prior, the raid boss actually of the map prior, is the one to bring him back into it now. Again, he's still atop the board. He's not having the same sensational performance, but he's still doing what's required of him and then some. If the others wake up, it could be a very different affair. Automatic's rather slow on the start at 3-3. Yeah, because they lost all 5 in the last round they won, and they lost the last. The economy's been pruned. It was at round 10K or 12K even for one player as they started the round before last, and now everything's invested or thereabouts. They have an op, they have 3 AKs and a Galil. It's enough to get the job done here and now, but if they lose this round and they don't get a bomb plant, their buy is going to be, at that point, destroyed.
Walco here. Headshot onto the first, spots out another. Flashes away, but he might retake with it. He does, but he spots out 2 this time. He'll fall away to control room, losing complete control of secret tunnels. He'll jump out onto the scaffolding. Junior is here as well. Smoke will guys off vision. There's a bit of a yin-yang going on. Automatic coming in way too late. Junior up close and personal. Cannot read chamber around. Walco's been spotted back. Silo, 6. He takes him down. In comes Automatic, though. One big one onto Viz. Fake plant, try and bait out a player in single door, decontamination room. Nobody there. Back to the bomb plan is 60. Automatic, HexT, and George all coming in from ramp room, and Ben Leet delivers a nice little headshot. HexT and George, not much more they can do here with minimal utility. Very entrenched are the T-sided players, and I think Party Astronauts are looking up towards a 6th, even more so now. HexT will even try to grab the op. He will, drops the smoke and runs away. There's 6 on the board for the Party Astronauts, and for the Evil Geniuses, things aren't looking so bright.
They're not. They're looking dull, in fact. Evil Geniuses proven to be maybe a little bit too genius, or a little bit overconfident in their naming. HexT did at least save the op for the following. He'll drop that over to Junior. They have enough coin in the coffer to go for another investment. Op for Junior. 3 A4s and an A1S for EG to round out the investment. Very solid, all things considered. PA, similarly so, with 4 AKs and the op. The issue is PA's attacking set is so solid, so versatile, and so reactive. EG, they need to find some way to get back into this. It can't just be Walco finding openings as he has. There needs to be more in terms of team play and cohesion.
Another slow-paced round here. No real fighting being done at all. Now Automatic gets punished by Chop out our yard, but there's a trade from Junior. And this is going to spur on the ramp tank. HexT is in a very rough spot. He's going to spray wildly and back away. Minimal damage done in that engagement. But at least he's made it safe to the side. Junior has a bit of an eye as well. Down the ramp they go. There's a headshot for HexT. He sprays away for a second. Reload there, but Walco dropped by the op of PwnAlone. Nifty little nade, but it does just tickle HexT. He's at 44 HP. Time at 30 seconds on the clock. Little jump spot as 60 creeps along the catwalk. Moving towards back silo. Spotted out by HexT. The gunfire will more than give it away. PwnAlone runs in. HexT is able to fight his way, at least buy a little more time for Junior and George to make their way down. How long is this rotation going to take? Junior's finally making it down the ramp. Bomb's going to go down here. And look at the health of these two players. A nade towards silo would have done 60 in, but there's nobody here. They finally made it down, and they have to fight their way back against low HP players, but low HP players with time to kill and places to move.
Rotations are so long from EG. George only just getting down the vents as that player in towards the cubby was finally felled. They're very scared of that vent. They will recover this round at least, getting the 5th on the board, one away from tying it up at the end of the half, but again, very slow, very sluggish, very scared, I think is the issue for EG. They're paranoid that Party Astronauts are anticipating those kinds of plays, and they're getting in their own heads, much to the detriment of their economy and their overall performance on this one.
Indeed, Sir Nate. This last round, a lot on the line. I think more so for Party Astronauts, because they're the ones who need this map more than EG. Do a lot of damage exchange at the squeaky door. Smoke's going to go away, but Automatic didn't have any ammunition to fight that with. Instead, it's Walco out ramp, who does find a pair. A little bit of chip damage to follow it up on the PwnAlone Junior here from Jay. Takes a shot. I think he was expecting a wide swing there. Does not come. That one, I don't know how he didn't do more damage than that. The wall bang flank is there, though. PwnAlone 2 on the headshot. He had about 7 rounds of ammunition in the magazine. He needs 2 headshots in the spray. That is a luck on the side of PwnAlone Junior. The last one standing for the Evil Geniuses, as Chop is flanking around behind. I don't know if Junior's going to expect that. I don't think he is. He drops the fake down the ladder, goes back up again, burns alive into the waiting arms of Chop. It's a 7-5 half to Party Astronauts as we hit the break.
Party Astronauts, a solid start on their own map pick to try and claw back into the series. It's Pineapple Phillips and Boggs on the mic. We find ourselves in the upper bracket finals. For those of you who were wondering, it's EG versus Party Astronauts, both teams winning their respective opening series 2-1 to get here. Party Astronauts, a slight lead heading into the second half, but they're heading into their CT side, which is the stronger side of Nuke.
It is indeed the stronger side of Nuke. For EG, they are definitely under the gun here. They're going to have to try and find a way to pull this one back into their favor if they want to end this in 2 maps. If they don't, well, Inferno is map number 3. Right now, EG are taking their sweet time outside. A couple of players up towards Silo, and this is a strange one, Nate. Very strange one. I'm not sure what exactly the delay is for EG, but they finally get one. A Molotov in. There we go. That's the utility they were waiting for. Walco tries to go down the vents, and he runs into the dual Berettas of 60. Feels like there's too many moving parts for EG. Too much that can go wrong. The autimatic does bring this one back to a 2v2. The bomb at the feet of 60. And nobody near to recover it one. Oh boy, this is a weird round and a very precarious position for Evil Geniuses and a must-win pistol.
Weird, goofy, silly. I thought it was an A split with some players wrapping down for Mini, but the opening kills kind of derailed the overall plan. Junior, that's a hello and a goodbye. Catching 60 down towards Secret. Dooley's an upgrade. He's just PwnAlone. Alone. An up top vent. He's at the squeaky door. Bomb is down below. We'll hope that they go back up rather than sticking to B. Autimatic, though, will not do any such antics. Down to B he goes. He'll smoke sight. Do they close the door behind them? No. Junior at least go back in? Yes.
Bomb has been planted.
PwnAlone. Walking down. He's going to the double doors. Still has that USP. You know, a 1v2. No kit in his possession. No pop, though. Gives him an opportunity to slink forth. Autimatic back sight. Kind of a crossfire with the dualies towards Decon door. Spot there. Information gained. Now it becomes more difficult for PwnAlone. He doesn't know where the second is. He's hopping around, hoping to find something. Dropping down. He's blindsided by Autimatic. 6-7 EG, 1 away from tying it up. And I would say that was a must-win pistol round, given the realities of the T side on Nuke.
It's definitely a must-win pistol round for EG, but for Party Astronauts, do they force back or do they go for a round 3 buy? Looks like they are going to go for the round 3 buy instead of going for a force buy here. They have that lead that will evaporate and be a tie ball game, but they can have guns up in plenty. I like this call from PA. I think it's better to prioritize and get the guns out in hand sooner rather than later. For EG, though, they do have a couple of MAC-10s, a pair of Galils, the 1AK on autimatic, and a couple openers for Junior, who does drop the bomb. One of those MAC-10s will eventually pick up the Galil, but 2 kills now for Party Astronauts, and a little more expensive than EG would have liked in this round as we end this one over to the favor of EG. George does not grab a Galil.
MAC-10. Respect the hustle, respect the grind. Don't hate the player, hate the game. It could definitely work out against 60% of PA as well. They're lacking helmets on Ben, Leet, Viz, and Chop. So while it's disappointing to not be able to snag one of those Galils, you know what? It's better than you'd expect. 8 open door, smoke out for the Molotov. Standard affair thus far for EG. Expands the wall. Does do some harassing damage as well. Autimatic dinged down to 22 in the yard. Out the door they come. Nice flash. Hex taking point. Misses the shot. So there's 3 players here. 2 up top and 1 towards Tetris. Chop and PwnAlone. Find 2. Autimatic and Walco tagged low. And the MAC-10, there it goes. It is good for 1. It's the most dangerous weapon in the round thus far, but it only gets 1. A flash in the pan. Autimatic and Walco. They have the bomb at least. down secret. At this point, the best case is a plant and nothing more.
Damaging, potentially. Not very likely in this scenario. 6 is on the prowl down the secret stairs. Ben here, so is PwnAlone. Walco is very well boxed in. There's no out. Besides fighting, there's a trade every which way he looks. Might not even get to that point. This is that one against Ben. Easy kill for the in-game leader of Party Astronauts. We have an 8-7 half now, or scoreline in the favor of PA. EG, they can buy up, but it's not going to be great considering the casualties they took in the second of the half. They're going to call a timeout here, Nate. They've been much more liberal with their timeout usage in this second matchup. I think that's a good thing, a very good change. The only other issue, though, is that now they only have one left, and they use this on a round where they don't exactly have the funds to go for a full investment.
It's an interesting call, but 2 players are double save. They might actually go for something. And yes, they shall. 2 AKs, a Galil. Tech 9 body armor is not a bad idea if you want to rush ramp or maybe race down secret with some smokes guising the cross. Go for the Tech 9s at least. Yet to see an op in the second half as well, but still early goings as of yet. Second aggressive outside cross is the name of the game. Automatic, though, will duel over top.
In comes push towards A least continuously. They peek towards Tetris. Chop remove. That's a huge start for EG. Trades back into a 3v2 now for the favor of the Party Astronauts as Ben holds the line. Walco falls to 6. Out towards Secret. And Junior with a Tech 9 and nothing else. Nothing he can really do in the round. As this timeout, post-timeout round from EG amounts to Zilp 0, nada zilch. What's another word for 0, Nate?
Say zilch?
Zilch, yes, sir.
What was the first one you said?
Zip.
Oh, I said zilp, and I was like, what does that mean?
We could make it a new one.
Good.
Zilp.
Just act confident about it. Zilp.
Sounds like some alien language from a young adult sci-fi book.
It does. Yeah, I'm fluent in zilp. Viz. Fluent in killing. Cousin Junior. Taking their time, gonna go recover a weapon perhaps. Those AKs. These will just skip for joy. Party Astronaut secure 9. 4 rounds and they will be off to overpass. EG, the plan does at least bolster their economy a little bit, but regardless, they should be on a half buy / save going into round number 17.
It's not looking good for the evil geniuses. It's looking much more confident for the Party Astronauts. I won't say it's exactly the best performance I've ever seen from them, but it's looking considerably better, especially compared to what we saw on map number 1. This is looking a lot more like the Party Astronauts of old, Nate. Well, I don't know if we'll ever see prime Party Astronauts ever again, but they're at least looking a lot better. And it's pistols out for EG. 5.7, or P250s rather, Tech 9, Glocks on 2. It always makes sense now, looking at the price tag on FN 5.7 ammunition, as to why only the CTs have access to it. Because it's over $1 a round for that little pistol. And it's custom. Chop will get the first notice. Viz will pop out for a molly and a spray kill. 1 for automatic, and that's it. Double digits for Party Astronauts. Another buy forthcoming from EG. Well, this one, Nate, has a lot on the line. This is pretty much the map opportunity for EG in the balance.
Yes, it is. It's do or die. X goes for a Galil. No timeout called either, which means they have some sort of strategy in mind. 2 Galils for George and HexT. Good utility across the board. No op for either side once again. And early outside smokes the name of the game. PwnAlone. Throw an early nade aggressively. Is it early? It's on time. It's early. It's the aggressive outside smokes. It's the forward-facing ones, not the further back ones. Party Astronauts, though, looking so fluid on this map, as we've mentioned. Putting 2 now down below in secret, all ready to greet. Pressing players, autimatic, lots of damage taken, but he finds them both! Down to 10 from 60, and Ben Leet misses entirely. The third player dropping his miss, but he's been spotted. He will win the duel, but George is very faithful on the trade. 4 versus 2 secured, and what looked to be a solid read and rebuke from Party Astronauts has fallen flat. PwnAlone trying to trade in, finds nothing. And Walco's already posted top vents. 8 to 10. I think EG have finally found something that works. The question is, can they find more than just this one round?
Oh, they'll have to find an answer for more than just the one round if they want to have some sustained success in this map. Maybe mount a comeback and take this one in 2-0 fashion. Party Astronauts have enough money to buy, but it might be a little bit strained here. Viz on 8300 can drop an op over. PwnAlone can drop a rifle and a timeout used by PA. To discuss their finances and their financial standings, call a meeting of the economic minds. PwnAlone with an op from Viz, a A1S in Viz's hands. He can drop that over to, say, Ben or 60 as well. Interesting shuffling forthcoming, perhaps, from PA. Meanwhile, Evil Geniuses have their AKs in all 5. And we have a technical pause now coming through. A mech pause, an oops pause, whatever you want to call it. No talking now. Just fixing the problem at hand. Wondering if it was a bathroom break. Because I feel like that would be something as we get into the later stages of today. A lot of liquid has been consumed.
It's been a long second map as well. Op present for PwnAlone. If EG can win the second round in a row, it'll be 9 to 10, and the economy of Party Astronauts will be broken. That's a very tangible way back to at least a even footing at 10 apiece. And they'll also have the momentum behind them at that point, so there is a very real chance that EG could turn this corner.
But do they have the power left, or is the lead insurmountable here? Because Party Astronauts still have the lead as we head into that corner, that final corner before the final straightaway. The checkered flag's visible in the distance, Nate. DG have to find a good angle, the pedal to the metal, get in front of Party Astronauts, and then kick it into high gear when they push towards the end. MP9 for Ben, op for PwnAlone, M4 on the rest. No A4 for Party Astronaut. That could be a factor when it comes to the multi-kills. We saw Hex with a nice one because of the A4 over on B. And speak of the devil, he picks up the opener here for EG.
Solid start. It's aggression, though. Hex is stuck between a rock and a hard place. 2 in towards Hut, 1 towards Ramp. They're trying to distract, but Hex knows exactly what's happening. 1, 2 spotted, 2 found, 3! Not quite. The damage already been done. PwnAlone on an op, a very inflexible weapon when you're on the back foot. Viz towards A. It looks like Party Astronauts will probably try to save these weapons going forward. The round is already done and dusted. 9. At this point, pretty much guaranteed for EG. Party Astronauts, it might be time to call a timeout in the following round.
Yeah, they called one coming into this one too. That's the thing. This is off the back of a timeout. I would say, let's see what the money is. I think it's max loss, but don't quote me. Do you buy? Do you just use what you have here? Half buy around the op and the M and the AK. That might be the best call. Just to give you the best chance of winning in the long run. It's such a spot to be in for Party Astronauts where they're stuck between the proverbial rock and a hard place. No, you have to save now. 2K, second round loss. There's no other option. You can't reinvest around this, or else you put yourself under EG going to the following.
Yep.
The op and the AK have to do it all.
They definitely could put PwnAlone on the outside yard, set somebody up back red to grab a rifle as he drops it. Not to grab his op as he drops it, grab a rifle off of a player he drops, is what I'm meaning to say. Set it up so you can kind of snowball. Or use them as pawns. Like for a boost from Viz, for example. Another respectable play. The issue is EG know the economy's low, and so they're going to rush into A. Nothing crazy, just a straight play with the superior weapons. 1, 2 secured, 3 secured. The op of PwnAlone still in play, but it's down below, and it will definitely try to save. 10 all tied up. Drop a dink onto one, but that's all he'll find. No actual kills. PwnAlone lost alive towards Secret. Should be able to save. Unless HexT comes and clears this angle. At that point, EG should dedicate as many bodies as possible to disentrenching this op. PwnAlone finds one. He's going to have to hold out as long as possible, but I'm not sure how aggressively EG want to hunt this.
Well, they're already going to lose Junior, and, well, they do take down PwnAlone, so it's well worth it. That is massive. No save op, no save AK. No op here for Party Astronauts at all. EG tie things up at 10 apiece, trying to overcome their 0-3 record on this map in CS2. First time they played somebody other than Nouns on it. And this is the closest they have been, the most rounds they have gotten since that first matchup against Nouns so long ago. Yansho Ping close qualifier, Nate. It's been a minute.
It's been an eon. Feels like 5 years ago and 30 minutes ago simultaneously.
And it was only about a month ago.
Yeah. 10-10. The economy of Party Astronauts teetering. They've made many compromises in this round. No kit. Or the chief among them. They lose this, they lose the lead, and probably lose a 12th by extension, depending on how many players survive.
Mm-hmm.
This is a crazy recovery from EG on the T side of all things.
Huge performances from HexT and Walco. Automatics had some moments as well. Junior has started to get a little more impact too, of course, this one. What a shot from Walco on to 60. Automatic dropped by Viz. That opener from Walco is nothing short of spectacular. That could have really ruined the day for EG. But instead it gives them a 4v4 and a lot of space to move around the map. Walco might even find more. Looking into lockers, headshot, good crosshair placement. Not expecting the second though. Try to back 3v3, even more space to operate for EG.
More space, and it's like a B split on the cards. Perhaps George and Junior down below. The op definitely work, but it also could definitely not. It's all in timing towards double doors. They swing open, PwnAlone, a nice little off angle. I think the op spotted him, and now his angle becomes awkward. Molotov in, they'll swing through it. Junior on the op finds the kill. Lots of damage taken from the utility. He's actually playing very close to the flames. He's lucky to be alive. 3 versus 2. Post plant secured, and do they go for it? No, probably not. Viz grabbing an AK out in the garage. The second player heading for T-spawn. I guess the lack of the kit, the lack of utility, and the low HP on Viz is what really seals the deal in round number 21.
The lack of finances, the lack of probability of securing this round, the lack of a kit, the lack of players, the lack of health, the lack of util, the lack of wiggle room for Party Astronauts. They lack a lot, Nate. And it gets even worse now that EG have gained a lead here. 11-10. It's the last stages of this half and of this map. And Evil Geniuses have pulled ahead just around that corner. We're starting to hit the straightaway now. EG just a hair's breadth ahead of Party Astronauts, who call their second of 3 timeouts. They can't even full invest here, Nate. Would be a very rough buy. But the same time, you almost feel they have to.
Fizz and Chop could drop some rifles of Moss from Chop to buy utility, and a A1S from Fizz to buy a little bit more utility as well. Kind of try to amalgamate something off of that. Maybe a scout for PwnAlone to try and do something a little bit different. The responsible goal is definitely the half buy and save. That's what they'll go for. 6C, 5.7 armor. Molotov for Ben Leet. Mag 7 for PwnAlone. The PwnAlone special. It's not Inferno. At least we get to see the shotgun. A second 5.7, excuse me, to round out the investment. No doubt as to what EG has. It's rifles across the board with the op for Junior. How do Party Astronauts play this one to maximize their chances?
Well, Chop gets naded down to 44 out red box, so that's not exactly a good start. Viz destroyed by autimatic, clearing to Africa. Molotov in Chop's position, and there's autimatic with a follow-up. Second T gets a double entry outside. And it looks like Party Astronauts are going to be left outside. EG a spot in the grand final tomorrow waiting here for them. PwnAlone long range on the Swag 7. Bank of Party Astronauts right there. He loves the swag. Him on half wall on Inferno. That's just like eggs and bacon right there, but autimatic sprays down Ben for his third of the round. And PwnAlone with his Mag 7. I don't think there's anything he can do, Nate. Maybe grab one of those guns that's dropped on the ground somewhere. But this will be 12.
It's going to be 12. Drops an AK in lobby. It's what he's going to go for. 12. And again, a remarkable turnaround, all things considered. It was, so what, 7-10? I believe so.
Yeah.
Wait, did they win the pistol round? I can't remember. Yeah, 7-10 sounds right. 7-10 sounds right. They lost the half 5-7. They got to 7-10, and now they're at 11-10, winning 4 in a row. Walco spotted the last remaining player. He can go for the hunt as well. Commit his life. Everybody could commit their lives, and it wouldn't matter. Drop this rifle, make things as difficult for PA as possible. Unfortunately, no one's near close enough to try and hunt them down. That bomb radius is meant to be feared, and it most certainly is now by the whole server. 12-10, map and series point for EG, excuse me, on the pick of Party Astronauts. PA using their last tactical timeout. They need to win 2 rounds in a row to get to overtime, and they're pulling out all the bells and whistles now. Op for PwnAlone. Rifles should be surrounding. They have enough money to go for it. The question is, what is the strategy? EG seem to have found a winning recipe.
They really do, and what is the counter punch that PA can find? Almost feels like they need to hit some shots too, because they have not been doing that lately. It's been autimatic. It's been Walco, HexT. Just destroying people on the entries. Creating space. George is 9-9. He's along for the ride. He's had a couple of moments here and there where he's popped off for a kill or two, but he hasn't really had to do much at all. The fact that we've played now, this is round 23, and he's killed 9 people, he's had 9 deaths. He's had 18 interactions in 22 rounds.
Not a lot. PwnAlone on the op, finally finding something. Top mini is autimatic. The random terror outside in the yard finally stopped. George. And meanwhile, those gotten all the way down secret. His step should have been heard from above. Bentley is rotating down, but George, will he be expected so close? It seems like it. Jumping in. Caught by George. He's low, but he's found an entry. Traded it out. 6C. Drops Walco in response, and the player back, Redden Jr.'s missed an opportunity. Now in a sticky situation. Hex is trying his best to support, and Jr. another one missed. 4 versus 3, a tenuous advantage for Party Astronauts, but George has a good amount of control down towards the B site.
Look at Chop, though. All the way through lobby. Tosses that smoke. Will kind of give up his position, but better safe than sorry. Lots of money for EG. They don't have to worry about buying up in round 24 if they lose it. They don't want to let it slip now. Give PA something to work with again on the flip side. Bomb in lobby. 25 seconds on the clock, and I think George is going to make his way to vent. Yep, he's going up. How has he found a gap to exploit that large? It's huge. And in comes the utility. George flashes in. Viz with a big win, and Hex falls as well. Nothing George can do now. The bomb in lobby. Viz with a hat trick, the critical sealer. And EG surrender around at the tail end of it all. Party Astronauts last-ditch timeout. Big individual efforts. An even bigger round to win. Stay alive in this one and keep on pushing. Round 24, the last round. The second half of regulation.
No worries about the investment, at least for EG. They can still get everything they need. Same for PA, though. They have 3 AKs, an AWP, an M4. EG, time for them to make an adjustment now. What is the call? The biggest question mark for them is, where's this AWP lurking? It was outside in the round prior. Now it's back behind vents. It will be Molly. PwnAlone puts that out, but he is now blind as well. Chop finds HexT. Down the vents is the call from EG. I like this play. Junior with the ups posted on right side ramp. Player racing forward is Walco throwing the Molotov. Does Ben Leak force the issue? No, he'll fall back. Site taken. Autimatic everything. He doesn't get one. He gets none. 60 takes him down. George to drop top in the meanwhile. But that pair of kills for Autimatic could have the round, sealed the round for EG. Instead, now they find themselves on the back foot. Walco, the IGL down below. Junior on the up has to come in big, holding secret. He finds one. Walco, a second. Another walks into the crosshair. Junior pulls out the nade. He'll let him cross by. Time becoming a factor. A third or thereabouts remaining. Walco underneath just bides his time. Here's the steps, and George drops 60. Junior finds Viz. It's 13-11 for EG. They cement the comeback onto their opponent's map pick, and they take the series in a clean 2-0 fashion.
It's a clean 2-0 fashion overpass. A very messy map for EG overall.